Welcome to the 10 NBA players with 3 plus championships countdown. I'm here to count from 10 all the way down to number 1. Now, the criteria: all these players have at least 3 NBA championships and served as a captain or leader on their team. Starting with Stephen Curry at the number 10 spot, the sharpshooting revolutionary. Stephen Curry is a point guard who changed the game with his unparalleled shooting range. Curry is a 4-time NBA champion to 2015, 2017, 2018, 2022, and a 2-time MVP, including the first unanimous MVP in league history. He finally earned an NBA Finals MVP in 2022, an honor that had long eluded him. As the leader of the Golden State Warriors dynasty, Curry has been selected as an All-Star 11 times, exemplifying his consistent excellence. On the court, Curry boasts career averages of roughly 24.6 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 6.5 assists per game, illustrating his all-around impact beyond just three-pointers. His greatest contribution, however, is the revolutionary three-point game. His record-shattering shooting has forced defenses to extend to near half court and inspired a new generation of long-range shooters. At only 6'2", Curry's ability to dominate through skill and finesse proved that one doesn't need overwhelming size to lead a team to multiple championships. Still, in his mid-30s, Curry continues to add to his legacy, cementing his status as arguably one of the greatest shooters of all time. Fans still wonder how much more he can achieve before he's done. He has redefined the game isn't just a cliche in Curry's case. It's a fact evident each time he steps beyond the arc. So we go from the revolutionary shooter of the modern era, we move to a giant of the paint. At number 9, Shaquille O'Neal, the dominant force with untapped potential. At number 9, we have Shaq, one of the most dominant centers to ever play the game. Shaq anchored teams to 4 NBA championships, 3 with the Lakers and 1 with the Heat, and earned 3 Finals MVP awards during the Lakers' early 2000 three-peat Finals run. He also won the 2000 NBA MVP for his phenomenal season that year. A 15-time All-Star selection, O'Neal was the face of the league with his combination of size 7'1", 325 pounds, strength, and surprising agility. He averaged an imposing 23.7 points and 10.9 rebounds per game over his career, often bullying defenders in the paint with brute force. Known in his prime as the most dominant player of our generation, Shaq demanded constant double teams and still proved unstoppable at times. Beyond the stats and accolades, Shaq's larger-than-life personality and leadership were pivotal in restoring the Lakers to championship glory as the team's primary centerpiece. However, O'Neal's story also comes with a what if. Despite his greatness, many believe he could have achieved even more. His partnership with Kobe Bryant produced 3 straight titles, but off-court conflicts and conditioning issues led to a breakup of the duo. Had Shaq stayed with the Lakers and stayed in peak shape, he might have become the undisputed greatest big man of all time. Even Shaq himself later admitted that better fitness and focus could have added years of dominance. Nevertheless, his resume is legendary. A Hall of Famer with 4 rings and a player so dominant that the league literally changed the rules, like tweaking the zone defense and hacking strategy to counter him. In the end, Shaq's blend of power and charisma left an indelible mark on the NBA, even as we imagine how much higher he could have climbed with a bit more drive. Transitioning from the big fella, from an overpowering center, we shift to an electrifying scorer on the wing. At number 8, Kobe Bryant, the relentless competitor and scoring phenom. Now, Kobe is not my pick for number 8. I also agree that he could possibly be in the top 3 of all time. But this is just statistics speaking. Coming in at number 8 is Kobe Bryant, the Los Angeles Lakers icon, known for his unmatched work ethic and Mamba mentality, a five-time NBA champion in the year 2000, 2001, 2002, 2009, and 2010. Kobe was the alpha and team captain of the Lakers through multiple years. First as a young sidekick turned leader with Shaq, and evolved as a sole veteran star, leading the franchise to back-to-back titles. He earned two Finals MVPs in 2009 and 2010 to go along with his 2008 regular season MVP. Bryant was named an All-Star 18 times in his 20-year career, a testament to his sustained elite status from his teen prodigy years into his late 30s. He retired with a remarkable career stat line of 25 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 4.7 assists per game, placing him among the all-time leaders in scoring. On the court, Kobe was the ultimate competitor. He famously scored 81 points in a single game, the second highest ever behind Wilt Chamberlain's 100, and amassed an astounding string of 50-point games showcasing his scoring prowess and fearless shot-taking. He patterned his game and leadership style after Michael Jordan, developing into a tenacious defender and clutch performer with a flair for the dramatic. Perhaps just as important as the number is Bryant's leadership and intensity. He demanded the best from teammates and himself, often willing the Lakers to victory through sheer determination. His final game, a 60-point farewell performance, symbolized the relentless drive that defined him. While injuries in his final years and a vetoed trade that might have paired him with Chris Paul left fans wondering if he could have snagged a sixth ring, Kobe achieved an awful lot in his 2 decades. He left the game as fourth on the NBA's all-time scoring list, and as an Olympic champion and Academy Award winner off the court. This man was a true legend whose influence and Mamba mentality continue to inspire the next generation. Now we're going to transition from my GOAT to we're going to highlight a giant whose consistency and fundamentals brought 5 titles to a small market franchise. At number 7, Tim Duncan, the big fundamental and dynasty anchor. The humble superstar who let his game do the talking for the San Antonio Spurs. Duncan led the Spurs to 5 NBA championships in the years 1999, 2003, 2005, 2007, and 2014, over the span of 3 different decades, exemplifying remarkable longevity and consistency. He collected 3 Finals MVPs and 2 regular season MVPs along with the way, and was selected to an incredible 15 All-Star teams in his 19-year career, known as the Big Fundamental. Duncan was not flashy, but his fundamentally sound footwork, bank shots, and defensive positioning were second to none. His career averages of 19 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 3.0 assists per game, along with 2.2 blocks, underscore how routinely he produced a double-double and contributed in all facets. Duncan is widely regarded as the greatest power forward of all time, and for good reason. He anchored the Spurs from the moment he arrived as the number 1 pick in 1997, seamlessly taking on a leadership role as a rookie alongside David Robinson, and then becoming the franchise centerpiece for nearly 2 decades. With Duncan as captain, San Antonio never missed the playoffs in his career, and he became the only player to start and win titles in 3 different decades. His stoic leadership, often described as quiet but commanding, set the culture for the Spurs. Selfless teamwork, defensive grit, and excellence without ego. He was a 15-time All-NBA and 15-time All-Defensive team, as well, reflecting how he could dominate on both ends of the court despite rarely seeking the spotlight. Coach Greg Popovich and teammates frequently praised Duncan's coachability and calm presence, which helped younger players flourish. While Tim lacked the outward flash of some peers, he delivered in the clutch. Remember that bank shot buzzer beater in the 2003 playoffs? And even at age 38 was a key contributor to the 2014 championship. In sum, Tim Duncan's legacy is that of a defensive and dynastic anchor, a player who proved that consistency, fundamentals, and leadership can build a perennial champion. The Spurs' long reign of excellence is inseparable from Duncan's steady hand, and for those counting, Duncan's 5 rings and resume firmly plant him in this top 10, even if his demeanor was always too modest to ever campaign for such honors himself. From the big fundamental, we'll turn to a player who really needs no introduction. He was a rival of Magic Johnson and defined a golden era of the NBA. At number 6, we're going with Larry Bird, the clutch all-around leader of the 1980s Celtics. The legendary Boston Celtics forward renowned for his uncanny all-around skills and clutch heroics. Bird led the Celtics to 3 NBA championships in 1981, 1984, and 1986, and was the unequivocal team leader and captain during that run. He collected 2 Finals MVP awards along with an astounding 3 consecutive regular season MVPs, 1984 through 1986, a feat matched by only a couple players in NBA history. A 12-time All-Star, Bird filled the stat sheet every night. His career averages were 24.3 points, 10 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game, making him one of the most versatile forwards ever. He remains one of only a few members of the exclusive 50-40-90 club for shooting efficiency. Bird could truly do it all. Shoot with deadly accuracy, especially in the clutch moments, pass with flair and precision, rebound, and even trash talk with the best of them to back down opponents psychologically. As the heart of the 1980s Celtics, Bird forged a famed rivalry with Magic Johnson's Lakers that saved the NBA's popularity and produced some of the sport's most memorable finals. He was the on-court leader, hustling for loose balls, directing teammates, and demanding excellence. His competitive fire was such that he famously told opponents how he'd beat them, and they did exactly that. Yet he also lifted his team with unselfish play. Bird won the Finals MVP in 1986 while nearly averaging a triple-double in that series, showcasing he elevated his game on the biggest stage. He also earned a reputation as one of the clutchest shooters ever. Celtics fans still recall winning buzzer beaters in his heroic shootout versus Dominic Wilkins in the 1988 playoffs. His competitive fire was such that he famously told opponents how he'd beat them, and they did exactly that. Yet he also lifted his team with unselfish play. Bird won the Finals MVP in 1986 while nearly averaging a triple-double in that series, showcasing he elevated his game on the biggest stage. He also earned a reputation as one of the clutchest shooters ever. Celtics fans still recall winning buzzer beaters in his heroic shootout versus Dominic Wilkins in the 1988 playoffs. Bird's career was somewhat cut short by back injuries in the early 90s, which sadly robbed him of some late prime years. It's tempting to wonder if he could have a couple more rings or records if he'd stay healthy longer. Even so, Bird accomplished plenty in 13 seasons. He was a 3-time All-NBA defensive team member and retired with over 21,000 points, 8,000 rebounds, and 5,000 assists, a testament to his all-around greatness. In Boston, Larry Legend is revered not just for the numbers, but for the intangible swagger and confidence he brought to the franchise. Every night, he gave the Celtics a chance to win, and more often than not, he delivered. Larry Legend, indeed, few players have combined skill and competitive will the way Larry Bird did, and the banners hanging in Boston's rafters are the proof. Transitioning from Larry Bird, we're going to go to Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was the point guard for the Showtime Los Angeles Lakers. At 6'9", he was the maestro of that team. the charismatic point guard who revolutionized basketball with size and style. Magic was a five-time NBA champion in 1980, 1982, 1985, 1987, and 1988, and a spark-plug captain of the team. His resume includes 3 MVP awards and 3 Finals MVPs, highlighting both his regular season dominance and clutch Finals performances. Magic appeared in all 12 All-Star games. He was MVP of the All-Star game twice and led the league in assists 4 times, retiring with jaw-dropping career averages of 19.5 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 11.2 assists per game. That 11.2 assists per game average remains the highest assist average in NBA history, a reflection of his unparalleled court vision. Quite literally, Magic could do things with a basketball that nobody had seen before, be it no-look passes on the fast break or even filling in at center as a rookie in 1980 in the finals to clinch an NBA championship. As the floor general of the 1980s Lakers, Magic's leadership and flair turned ordinary games into must-see entertainment. He earned his nickname by making the spectacular routine, whipping passes through traffic, igniting fast breaks, and bringing an infectious joy to the game. But he was also a fierce competitor and team leader, taking over as captain after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's retirement. Magic led the Lakers to multiple finals and famously dueled Larry Bird's Celtics for the league supremacy. This elevated the NBA's popularity worldwide. Under his leadership, the Lakers reached 9 NBA finals in his 13 seasons, a testament to how Magic instantly transformed the franchise into a perennial contender upon his arrival. He also developed into a clutch performer, with moments like his baby skyhook to beat Boston in the 1987 finals forever etched in history. Magic's career unfortunately met an abrupt interruption in 1991 at the age of 32 and near his prime. He retired due to an HIV diagnosis. This shocking development cut short what many could believe of more seasons and several more years of championship contention. It's tantalizing to imagine if Magic had played through the mid-90s, the Lakers may have added more to their trophy case. He did return for an All-Star MVP performance in 1992 and a brief comeback in 1996, but those were epilogues to his true prime. Despite the shortened career, Magic's accomplishments are immense. He's 5th all-time in assists, a Hall of Famer, and the only player to ever win Finals MVP as a rookie. He did so at age 20 in 1980. More than stats, Magic Johnson's impact is measured in the smiles and championships he delivered. His leadership style, uplifting teammates with brilliant passes, an exuberant spirit, makes him the gold standard of point guards. Magic's presence on this list is undisputed. As the saying goes, he's the only player who could ever fill every position on the court and do it brilliantly. The NBA might never see another player quite like Magic Johnson. Now we turn to the greatest winner of them all, a defensive titan who racked up rings in unprecedented fashion. Number 4, Bill Russell, the ultimate champion and defensive general. Synonymous with winning, that's Bill Russell. Russell was the cornerstone and captain of the Boston Celtics dynasty of the 1950s and 60s, leading his team to an astounding 11 championships in 13 seasons, the most titles ever by a player. He also earned 5 MVP awards, matching Michael Jordan for second most all-time, and was a 12-time All-Star during his career. While there was no Finals MVP award until Russell's final season, the award now fittingly bears his name. There is little doubt he would have claimed a few of those as well given his impact in championship series. Statistically, Russell's career averages of 15.1 points, 22.5 rebounds, and 4.3 assists per game only hint at his influence. He dominated an era with fewer teams and less talent concentrated on by squads. By controlling the paint like no one before him, his rebounding average of 22.5 is second only to Wilt Chamberlain in NBA history, and he likely averaged close to 8 plus blocks per game if that stat had been recorded. But Bill Russell's greatness transcends numbers. He was the ultimate defensive anchor and team leader, famed for his shot blocking, ability to guard any opponent, and instincts to make game-winning plays. He approached basketball as team first, often sacrificing scoring to focus on defense, rebounding, and starting fast breaks with his outlet passes. As a result, his Celtics simply refused to lose. They went 11-0 in Game 7s with Russell, including many nail-biting finals. As a team captain, Russell's leadership was both intellectual and inspirational. He had a deep understanding of the game's psychology, once saying, "The idea is not to block every shot, but to make your opponent believe that you might." This mentality set the tone for Boston's stifling defense. In 1968 and 1969, he even served as player coach, becoming the first African American head coach in NBA history, and winning 2 titles in that dual role, literally leading from both on the court and the sideline. Though some argue Russell played in a less athletic era, no one can deny the mountain of success he amassed. His Celtics defeated legendary peers like Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West time and time again when it mattered most. Beyond the court, Russell's poise under pressure amid significant social adversity in the 1960s and will to win were unparalleled. If championships are the measure of greatness, Russell stands alone at the summit. Even if his offensive stats were modest, he knew exactly what his team needed to win and delivered it in every year. In recognition of his impact, the NBA Finals MVP award is named the Bill Russell Award, a tribute to how he made winning the ultimate measure. In short, Bill Russell is the greatest champion in NBA history, a leader of men and the defensive backbone of a dynasty that will likely never be replicated. His placement in the top 5 is as rock solid as the man's presence in the paint. Alright, next up is the NBA's longtime scoring king, a master of longevity, and the skyhook. At number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the skyhook king and model of longevity. A player whose career embodied sustained excellence at the highest level. Kareem is a 6-time NBA champion, winning titles with the Milwaukee Bucks in 1971 and 5 with the Los Angeles Lakers in 1980, 1982, 1985, 1987, and 1988. He was the Finals MVP twice in 1971 and 1985, and his 6 MVP awards are the most by any player in NBA history. Add to all that 19 All-Star selections, tied for the all-time record, and you have a trophy case that spans 2 full decades, standing at 7'2" with a trademark goggle and headband look. Kareem dominated with finesse and intelligence, retiring with career averages of 24.6 points, 11.2 rebounds, and 3.6 assists per game over an unprecedented 20-year career. He also logged 3.0 blocks per game in the year that stat was recorded, and at the time of his retirement in 1989, he was the NBA's all-time leader in points, blocks, rebounds, second in the latter 2 now. His total of 38,387 points made him the NBA's all-time leading scorer for 34 years, a record only just surpassed in 2023. Kareem's signature weapon, the skyhook, is perhaps the most unguardable shot ever devised. With his height and graceful sweeping hook shot released high over his head, Kareem could score reliably against any defender. It was dubbed the shot that built championships. He first honed his leadership at UCLA with legendary coach John Wooden, then immediately transformed the Bucks as the franchise player, winning a title in just his second pro season. In the late 1970s, Kareem moved to Los Angeles and became the veteran foundation for the Showtime Lakers. As team captain, Magic Johnson often affectionately called him Cap. Kareem led by example, training diligently with yoga and martial arts to extend his prime well into his late 30s. In 1985, at age 38, he was Finals MVP, outdueling a young Hakeem Olajuwon and proving that his greatness had serious staying power. He was still a full-time starter on a championship team at age 40, which is unheard of. His leadership style was quieter, often cerebral. He wasn't a fiery vocal leader like some others on this list, but his very presence commanded respect. Younger teammates like Magic and James Worthy looked up to him, especially in pressure moments. Example, Kareem's clutch skyhook to steal Game 6 of the 1987 Finals. Spanning 20 seasons, Kareem accumulated records that might never be broken. He was a 10-time NBA All-First Team and 5-time All-Defensive First Team, showing his impact on both ends. Importantly, he bridged multiple eras, from battling Wilt Chamberlain in the early 1970s to mentoring Magic Johnson in the 80s, and kept winning throughout. By the time he retired, Kareem had set a standard for longevity and sustained dominance that players like LeBron James attempt to follow today. Fittingly, he received the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his contributions on and off the court. Kareem's skyhook and staggering list of accolades make him an easy choice for the top three. While he no longer holds the scoring title, he remains ahead of everyone in MVPs and All-Star nods, and his 6 rings speak to his ability to be the centerpiece of champions. In the annals of basketball, few resumes can rival Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He is truly a towering figure in every sense. Now we move to a living legend still adding to his story, a do-it-all phenom of the modern era. At number 2, LeBron James, the all-around king still reigning. Often dubbed King James, who has a compelling case as the most complete basketball player ever. LeBron is a 4-time NBA champion, winning titles with 3 different franchises in 2012 and 2013 with Miami, 2016 with Cleveland, and 2020 with LA. And in each of those championship runs, he earned NBA Finals MVP honors, 4 total. He's also a 4-time regular season MVP in 2009, 2010, 2012, and 2013, dominating the league in the 2010s, and a 19-time All-Star selection, tied with Kareem for the most ever. As of 2023, LeBron has more All-NBA selections, 18, than any player in history, has virtually rewritten the record books. In February of 2023, he surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the NBA's all-time leading scorer, a testament to his longevity and scoring prowess. He has over 38,600 career points and counting. Yet scoring is just one facet of LeBron's game. He is the only player ever with over 10,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 10,000 assists. His career averages of approximately 27.2 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 7.3 assists per game reflect an extraordinary all-around impact, essentially averaging a 27-7 stat line across 20-plus seasons, something unprecedented at his level of volume. LeBron's true hallmark is versatility. Standing 6'9" and 250 pounds, he can play any position on the court and guard all 5 positions when needed. In his prime, he often served as a point guard on the offense, leading the league in assists in 2020, while defending the opposing team's best wing or big man. He led the Miami Heat and Cleveland Cavaliers as team captain, famously fulfilling his promise to bring a championship to Cleveland in 2016 by overcoming a 3-1 finals deficit, a feat never done before, and earning a finals MVP with a historic performance. In that series, he led both teams in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks in the series. His leadership continued in Los Angeles, where in year 17 of his career, he guided the Lakers to the 2020 title. James's combination of basketball IQ, playmaking, and clutch ability has drawn comparisons to Magic for passing and Jordan for scoring and killer instinct. Although I don't agree with the killer instinct part. And he has delivered in big moments, from buzzer beaters in playoff games to a legendary Game 6 in the 2012 East Finals, 45 points facing elimination. He has 4 Finals MVPs with 3 franchises, illustrating that wherever LeBron goes, championship contention follows. Remarkably, LeBron is still adding to his legacy in his late 30s. In 2020, he became the first player to average a triple-double in an NBA Finals. Against the Warriors, though he didn't win Finals MVP that year. And in 2023, he was All-NBA yet again. As of the 2024-25 season, he remains a force, chasing what would be a 5th ring to tie some of the legends above him. His longevity is perhaps unmatched in year 20. He's still scoring 30-plus points in playoff games and breaking age-old records. Off the court, LeBron's leadership extends to being a voice for social issues and a mentor to young players. The debate about the greatness of all time often comes down to LeBron versus Michael Jordan, and it's a testament to LeBron's resume that he's firmly in that conversation. With career totals still climbing, he may put some records like total points out of reach. In summary, LeBron James is the Swiss Army knife of the NBA superstar, elite in scoring, passing, and rebounding, a leader on and off the floor, and a player who has exceeded the immense hype that followed him since he was a teenager. Should he capture another championship or two before he's done, the GOAT debate may be even closer, although I still think that he'll never be the GOAT. Even if he's not the GOAT, I can't argue with his accomplishments and the abilities and some of the fun times that I've had watching him in the NBA. In the number 1 spot, you probably already guessed it. Everyone knows who he is, synonymously known as the greatest. Number 1, Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time. Finally, at number 1, we have Michael Jordan, widely acclaimed as the greatest basketball player of all time. Jordan's resume is the gold standard in the sport. He is a 6-time NBA champion, having led the Chicago Bulls to 2 separate three-peats in 1991 through 93 and their 1996 through 98 as their unquestioned captain and alpha dog. In each of those NBA finals, he earned the NBA Finals MVP, giving him a record 6 Finals MVPs, 1 for every championship series he ever played in. He also collected 5 regular season MVP awards in 1988, 1991, 1992, 1996, and 1998, and was a 14-time All-Star selection in his 15-year career. MJ's career averages are simply astonishing. 30.1 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 5.3 assists per game. His scoring average is the highest in NBA history. He won an unprecedented 10 scoring titles in the regular season and even led the league in steals 3 times, reflecting his dominance on both offense and defense. Jordan was also a 9-time All-Defensive First Team honoree and the 1988 Defensive Player of the Year, making him the only player ever to pair Defensive Player of the Year while a scoring title in the same season. In short, there's virtually no metric or accolade where Jordan doesn't excel. Numbers aside, Michael Jordan's legacy is defined by competitive drive and clutch performance. His playoff exploits are legendary, a perfect 6-0 record in the NBA Finals, never needing a Game 7. Countless game-winning shots, the shot over Cleveland in 1989, the flu game in 1997 Finals, the championship-stealing jumper in 1998, to name a few, and an ability to elevate his play under the brightest lights. As the leader of the Bulls, Jordan set an unforgiving tone of intensity. He was known to push his teammates hard in practice, expecting championship-level effort every day. That leadership, though tough, yielded results. Chicago went from never having won a title to double three-peats. In the early 90s, Jordan's Bulls denied a litany of Hall of Famers: Magic, Barkley, Ewing, Drexler, Malone, and Stockton their rings, and after an abrupt first retirement to play baseball in 1993 to 94, he came back to dominate the league again from 1995 to 98. In the latter three-peat, as an older but craftier player, MJ led the Bulls to what was then a record 72-10 season in the 1995 to 96 season and capped it with a championship. I hope you enjoyed this journey through the pantheon of NBA greats. These 10 players, Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Russell, Magic, Bird, Duncan, Kobe, Shaq, and Curry, are truly in a class of their own, each a legendary champion who has earned their spot on this list. Thank you for listening, and let the debates continue. Whether you agree or disagree with the order, celebrating these all-time greats is what being an NBA fan is all about. We just relived the journey through NBA greatness, each step bringing us closer to the consensus GOAT. It's a testament to how special this group of that Hall of Famers and legends in their own right had to be left off if they didn't meet the 3-ring criterion. Sorry to Wilt Chamberlain and Hakeem Olajuwon and anyone else who falls out of our list only due to that championship cutoff. In the end, it's a list that balances winning with individual brilliance. Whether you're debating in a barbershop or creating a podcast, this reverse countdown provides plenty of talking points and highlights. It celebrates historic achievements, acknowledges the human side of potential and what-ifs, and reminds us why we love the game of basketball. As fans, we stand in awe of what these players have contributed. Their legacies are the very fabric of NBA history. Stories of scoring barrages, gravity-defying plays, lockdown defense, MVP runs, and of course the lifting of the Larry O'Brien trophy year after year. In telling their stories, we saw how leadership comes in many forms. Quiet consistency, Duncan; vocal inspiration, Magic; ruthless competitiveness, Jordan and Kobe; or jovial dominance, Shaq. All of them, however, share common threads: a commitment to excellence and the ability to deliver in clutch moments. Also, the hardware, rings and trophies to prove it. Between them, these 10 icons have a combined 55 NBA championship rings, a collection of brilliance perhaps never to be replicated in one list again. From Curry's game-changing marksmanship to Jordan's unrivaled killer instinct, from the towering presence of Kareem and Russell to the dynamic versatility of LeBron and Magic, these players set the standard for greatness in their respective eras. Notably, many of them overcame challenges or even left us wondering what could have been. For example, Shaq's untapped potential for conditioning, or Magic and Bird's careers being cut slightly short due to what they went through. From Curry's game-changing marksmanship to Jordan's unrivaled killer instinct, from the towering presence of Kareem and Russell to the dynamic versatility of LeBron and Magic. These players set the standard for greatness in their respective eras. Notably, many of them overcame challenges or even left us wondering what could have been. For example, Shaq's untapped potential for conditioning, or Magic and Bird's careers being cut slightly short due to what they went through. And there you go, the top 10 NBA players of all time who have 3 championships or more. Each of these legends not only amassed multiple titles, but also served as the leader and driving force of their teams, embodying what it means to be a champion. As the saying from his Nike ads went, "It's not the shoes, it's gotta be the Jordan. In our countdown, there's no one better. Michael Jordan is number 1, the ultimate champion and legend of the game." As the saying from his Nike ads went, "It's not the shoes, it's gotta be the Jordan. In our countdown, there's no one better. Michael Jordan is number 1, the ultimate champion and legend of the game." His influence on the game is immeasurable, from his high-flying dunks that earned him the nickname Air Jordan, to his iconic sneakers, to the countless players who cite MJ as their inspiration to greatness. In the end, the GOAT debate usually starts and ends with Michael Jordan's name for a reason. No one has combined winning, statistics, awards, and cultural impact quite like Mike. It's hard to find any what if in Jordan's career because he accomplished so much. Perhaps the only lingering question is, could he have won 7 or 8 championships if he hadn't taken that first retirement? Some believe Jordan might have led the Bulls to 8 straight titles had he stayed in 1994 or 95, which speaks to how invincible the Jordan-era Bulls felt. Regardless, 6 titles in 8 years and 2 Olympic gold medals with Team USA secure Michael Jordan's place at the apex of basketball history. By the end of the 1998 finals, Jordan had nothing left to prove. He retired for a second time, having achieved a storybook ending with the Bulls. He did return at age 38 for a couple of seasons with the Wizards, where he was still effective, but those years don't tarnish his legacy. If anything, they added to his total points and showed flashes of the old brilliance. What truly sets Jordan apart is that killer instinct, often simply referred to as the clutch gene. He seemed to relish high-pressure moments. His playoff scoring average of 33.4 points is the highest ever, and he never shrank from the moment. Need a basket in the final seconds? MJ delivered time and time again. Need a defensive stop? He'd lock up the opponent's best guard. His teammates testify that he was both the team's fiercest critic and its greatest believer, inspiring them to reach heights they didn't know they had. Finals MVP 6 times means he was the best player on the court every time he reached the mountaintop. His airness was equally a global cultural icon, making the NBA a worldwide phenomenon and starring in the film Space Jam at the peak of his popularity.